Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Orange County Department of Education College and Career Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have some fantastic schools here with us today to share with you. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator today. Before we get started, I do have a few housekeeping items for you. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button that you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also one of many sessions happening today and over the next few days, so be sure to go back out to the schedule to see what else is available. And lastly, the session is being recorded and afterwards will be available at strivescan.com/COSI. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is Hendrix College.
Good evening, everyone. It is wonderful to be with you tonight, and I'm so glad that you've signed on to learn more about some really incredible colleges. My name is Ryan Castle, and I have the pleasure of serving as Dean of Admission and Financial Aid at Hendrix College. We are in Conway, Arkansas, just north of the state capital of Little Rock. Now, I'm going to be sharing some words about Hendrix tonight, but I also want to have an opportunity to share with you what some others are saying. So on the screen here, you see some of the accolades and some of the remarks from others. #1 college in Arkansas by College Consensus, listed as a best value college by Forbes, one of the most beautiful colleges in the country. Remarkable remarks from our high school counselor community. So this series of experts just all around the country who hold Hendrix in high regard. Listed as one of the most innovative colleges in the country. And we're so happy to be a part of the Colleges That Change Lives, a group of just over 40 colleges that have been named in our country who are just so transformational in their experiences. Now, Hendrix is so much more than a set of numbers, but I understand sometimes it's easier to cling to numbers. We're a community of just over 1,100 students. So we are focused on student earning the bachelor's degree. So what that means is these 1,100 students you as a student here are going to have full access to all professors, full professor in every classroom. We have no grad students teaching you. We have students from 38 states, all coming together, sharing their experiences with one another at this National Liberal Arts College. 10-to-1 student faculty ratio. We like to think that we're a place who's always reinventing ourselves, and this is a place where you can come and be reinvented, and together we'll become better, greater versions of ourselves. Now, I mentioned earlier that Hendrix has been continually listed on as a category of most innovative colleges around the country. And one of these is a real hallmark program we have called the Odyssey program. And with Odyssey, what you will do is before you graduate Hendrix, you will complete a number of Odyssey experiences. Now, what these are high impact, high engagement programs where you will focus on life in a co-curricular way or outside the classroom. And these areas are professional and leadership development, global awareness, service to the world, creative arts, undergraduate research, or they can just be a general topic of your choice. If you find a way that you want to go out and change the world and make this place better, you could pursue an Odyssey experiences in a general way. Now, this could be a study abroad experience. This could be an internship. This could be you organizing a community service event or philanthropy. So many ways to achieve that Odyssey experience. We have a strong career and leadership development office who will work with you from day one, because we don't want you to just have a great 4 years. We want you to be Hendrix beyond Hendrix. And we have an incredible set of career counselors in that area. And then also we're known for our Hendrix Murphy Scholars Program that's focused on language and literature. Motto of the school is the whole person. You are certainly going to develop academic excellence in the classroom, but we care for the whole person here. So this is a place where we want you to find great joy, and you will have that opportunity both in and out of the classroom. Now, from an application perspective, I know that there are likely some seniors on the call tonight. The main deadline that we see, November 15th. We are starting to review applications, so you don't have to wait till November 15th, but we'd love to see your application in by then. We do accept the common application, and there's no fee to apply. Of course, we'll look at your transcript. There'll be the main essay that's part of the common application. We are test optional, and we moved to a test optional plan before COVID. And so one thing to remember is that you can be considered for both admission and scholarships without test scores. And then we'd love to see a recommendation, but we're not going to hold up your application review if your teacher or counselor hasn't submitted that recommendation. We know that there's only so much you have control over. And while we'd love to see that recommendation, we invite that to come in. Please know your application is not going to be held up in that regard. Now, I mentioned that we are always reinventing. And I want to introduce, a couple of ideas to you. One, a financial-based program, this idea of the tuition advantage. And what we commit to you is that you will not pay more in tuition at Hendrix than the published tuition rate of your home flagship school. And another note of reinvention in addressing college costs, last year we did reduce our tuition by 33%. So one of the ways that we are trying to address these rising college costs around the country. I'm posting my contact information here. I will also post that in the chat, but I'm so pleased that you're with us tonight, and let's keep in touch.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Up next, we have Cairn University.
Alrighty. Hey, everybody. My name is Robert. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Cairn University. Just a little bit about ourselves. We are a small Christian university based in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philadelphia, about 25 minutes north. We are, like I said, a small Christian university. So undergraduate population is about 800 students strong. But when it comes to the graduate programs that we offer, as well as some of the extracurriculars in terms of online students, it's about 1,500 or so. Hopefully my PowerPoint is working, and if not, I'm going to try to reinvent everything real quick. I'm sorry. Alrighty, so this is our mission statement. Cairn University exists to educate students to seek Christ in the church, society, in the world as biblically minded, well-educated, and professionally competent men and women of character. The biggest thing that I really want to point out with our mission is the fact that regardless of the major that you choose, which we have over 70, we really want you guys to learn the Christian side of things as well as the secular side of things, and you can utilize both of those aspects to your advantage post-graduation. Whether it's the education side of things, business, journalism, communications, whatever you're interested in studying, there is a way for you guys to understand both sides of the story. Some of these are the top 5 majors that we offer. So School of Divinity, School of Business, Liberal Arts and Sciences, which I know is a pretty broad umbrella, but I'll kind of delve into that in a second. The School of Education, and the School of Music. So the cool thing about the School of Divinity, the School of Business, the School of Education, and some of the majors that we have in the Liberal Arts and Sciences, specifically psychology, is you can actually get your master's degree for no extra added tuition in 5 years. So that's, as a recent graduate of the university in December of 2020, that's the route that I went. And it is pretty beneficial for some, just for lack of a better term, to have a one-up on the competition. So this is the cost of attendance and general types of financial aid that the university offers. While I don't really like talking about finances, I know it's an incredibly important part of students making a college decision. So overall tuition with the room and board and everything included is around $44,000 a year, but the average financial aid, as you can see on the right, that we give students is anywhere up to $20,000 to $22,000. And that's based on different scholarships that we offer, merit, which is purely based on academics, as well as work studies. And we get a lot of that information through the FAFSA that you guys would fill out. So I don't want you guys to really worry about the tuition side of things, but I do think it is needed in this PowerPoint. When it comes to the application process, kind of like Hendrix as well, we are test optional, which is a blessing for a lot of students who weren't able to take the SAT or ACT last year due to COVID. We're going to keep that train rolling, which we're really excited about, just because a lot of students are still not able to take the SAT or ACT, or they just think it might be better for them not to take it. Our application and essay can be done on our website or on the Common App. It takes about 15-20 minutes to do, so it doesn't take that long. And the last piece of the puzzle that we would need in order to get an acceptance decision to you would be your transcript. So you would just contact your guidance counselor, and then from that, they would send it over to us. I know that athletics is another major part of sometimes whether or not students want to choose the college that they're going to. So these are the opportunities of athletics that we offer. A lot of the same sports for both the guys and the girls. The only addition to the guys' athletic side of things is golf. But if sports aren't for you, but you still want to be involved, we have a lot of intramural opportunities. And I think one of the last slides that I wanted to touch on really quickly is our campus. So I did say in the beginning that we're in suburban Philadelphia in a little town called Langhorne. This is our whole campus. It's pretty small. It covers about 50, 60 acres. So one of the biggest things that Cairn University really likes to push is the community aspect of things. And for that reason, I like to show this map just to show that everything is very close together. We really want to push the community. We want everybody to see each other on a day-to-day basis, to really bolster the friendships that you have, to make it known that the students really are invested in the teachers, and the teachers are really invested in the students, and vice versa. When it comes to all the majors, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, because of our small student to teacher ratio of about 11 or 12 to 1, you're going to get one-on-one attention in terms of any type of postgraduate opportunities, or maybe an internship, or anything like that. I'm going to leave my information in the chat, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to follow us on those social media pages, like I was saying, feel free to do so. And we are hosting an open house in the next 2 or 3 weeks on November the 5th. So if you guys are interested, feel free to do so. But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your presentation. Up next, we have Bishop's University.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Just to give a small introduction of who I am. My name is Jeremy Harrison Lalonde, and I'm a recruitment and admissions officer for Bishop's University. The slide should show up clearly quite soon. Yeah, so this is essentially our campus. We are located in the French province of Quebec, Canada. So we are a Canadian institution. In fact, we're one of the oldest Canadian institutions. We were founded in 1843, which actually makes us older than the country of Canada itself. And we used to be affiliated with Oxford University until 1853. We are a smaller, more tight-knit community in campus, so we have less than 3,000 students as a whole, and we are primarily an undergrad institution. So that means that we have a limited amount of master's programs and no PhD programs. With that said, we are a highly international university with 25% of our entire student populations coming from 80 countries across the world, and 75% at least hold a Canadian passport or a citizenship. The thing that's quite unique about us is that we do offer a very traditional, centralized campus American experience, which is very common in the States, but quite unique within Canada itself. We are a liberal education model. Essentially, what does that mean for you as a student? It gives the students the freedom to explore and discover their passions through areas of focus and electives. But the main primary reason why we decided to adopt this educational the liberal education model, is that we saw a shift in employers no longer solely valuing students with strong IQ skills or the ability to retain information, but we saw a shift in employers also valuing students with strong EQ skills, or known as emotional skills. So the ability to communicate, present, network, the ability to perform under pressure and adapt quickly through various situations. So the liberal education model essentially encourages or forces students to take courses completely outside of their field of study, which encourages students to adopt different learning methods, different ways of communicating and presenting. So it does allow to have a stronger employability upon graduation. Just to give an idea of where we are located in the French province of Quebec, Canada. Like I said, we're only an hour and a half away from the second largest city in Canada, so Montreal City. We're more in the suburb rural area of Montreal, but we're also really well located for students who really want to see some major North American hubs. So we're only 2 hours away from one of the oldest cities within Canada, that's Quebec City. We're 3.5 hours away from the capital. We're 4 hours away from Boston. We're 7 hours away from Toronto, and 8 hours away from New York. We're in fact only 40 minutes away from the Vermont border in the States. So we're really, really well located. Those are all within driving distances. Obviously, if you take the train or the plane, you could go even further than that. But if you do decide to come to Bishops, you'll be living in the Eastern Townships, which is by far one of the most beautiful places within Quebec to live. It's surrounded by beautiful mountains, rivers, lakes, and it's all encumbered by the mid-sized student city of Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke really holds absolutely everything a larger city has in amenities when it comes to trendy coffee shop, movie theaters, restaurants, shopping malls, you name it, we pretty much have it at Bishops. Bishops is highly focused on allowing students to really thrive and excel within our learning environment. So we provide a whole bunch of resources. Whether you are a student with a learning disability, we're able to provide specific accommodations to allow you to thrive, or someone that's facing some sort of mental illness or having difficulty, we have a whole bunch of resources to help you overcome some of those challenges and allow you to grow and excel within our environment. But one of our biggest bragging rights, one of our biggest resources that we have is the Writing Center, where any student, whether you have a learning disability or not, are able to book an appointment at the Writing Center and get your papers or presentations or whatever that may be completely corrected. So all the grammars will be corrected, and you tend to see a 10% increase in grades on average. Again, that's part of our philosophy at Bishops, where we don't want to hinder students on things that are increasingly being automated, like grammar through software like Grammarly, Antidote, Word2, whatever that may be, but we really want to evaluate the cognitive ability of a student instead. We're highly focused on experiential learning opportunities. So that means that you get a lot of hands-on experiences as early as within your second year of study here at Bishops University. And if you are a part of two particular programs, so the computer science program or the business program, you'll have access to our quality controlled Bishops University internship placement, also known as the co-op program. And if you get 3 of those internship placements, you'll be getting a co-op profile on your transcripts, which shows employers that you're not only valuable in an educational setting, but also in the real world in a work setting. So that does increase your employability upon graduation. Like I said, we are primarily an undergrad institution. So that means that a lot of experiences that would be exclusive to more experienced students, so students that are doing a master's, are directly available within your undergrad. So those are experiences that are rare and highly valuable. Despite our campus being quite historical and old, since it was first founded in 1843, and has remained authentic in terms of the exterior. The interior has been fully renovated to adopt to modern technology and needs. So it makes our facilities state-of-the-art facilities all across our campus. Our laboratories, our computer science labs, our production labs, absolutely everything is fully renovated. So let's talk about a bit of the admission requirements and how it works. So we tend to follow the very traditional Canadian way of evaluating a student. We are a Canadian institution, so we do not require or has ever required any SAT test for that matter. And we also don't require an essay whatsoever. We really want to see your educational history, and we tend to look through evidence on whether or not you're a great fit for our learning environment. With that said, we are on the Common App, and the Common App does require an actual an essay. So you can submit an essay It may influence our decision, but it is truly not the primary criteria we're looking for. You will need around an 80% average or a 3.5 out of 4. That's our minimal entry requirements to come to Bishops. If you are interested in going into a more prestigious program like our business school or a computer science school, you will have to have a 3.8 out of 4 GPA. I know that it's kind of annoying when we talk about some of the tuition fees, but it is around a 41,000 Canadian dollar on average for a total estimated first year cost. And we do offer bursary loans all the way up to 28,000 Canadian dollars. So that's pretty much it. If you do have more information, please don't hesitate to contact me and I'm going to pass it on to the next university.
Thank you for your presentation. As a reminder to our students, if you have questions, definitely don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A down below. Up next, Beloit College.
Thank you very much and good evening, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about Beloit College, where I'm an admissions counselor, but most importantly, a proud Beloit alum. Beloit College is an experience that's been 175 years in the making. Since 1846, Beloit College has really instilled upon its students a world-class education that is timeless and that allows students to be effective communicators, productive collaborators, creative problem solvers, and agile professionals and intellectuals. Beloit is beautifully located at a geographic intersection between larger cities of Chicago, Milwaukee, and Madison. And it is an absolutely stunning campus, which you can see part of right here. So let's see how Beloit for 175 years has really been built by its people. So Beloit has been creating for nearly 2 centuries a more diverse experience, one that really affects the way you experience every class that you have and enriches every interaction that you have at Beloit. In fact, we're the #1 most diverse college in Wisconsin, with nearly 30% of our students being BIPOC and nearly 20% of our students being international, which when taking out of a proportion of our 1,200 student population, is pretty quite spectacular. In fact, Beloit has such a national and international reach that more than half of our Beloiters come from over 500 miles away. So again, we truly believe that this diverse experience makes for a very rich development of the student while you're here at Beloit. Now, when it comes to majors, Beloit offers over 40. Now, some of the highlighted ones here are the most popular ones, but what really makes Beloit special and magical is that in its 40 majors and minors, the possibilities are infinite. The permutations that you can create between, say, studying biochemistry and creative writing at the same time, or other 2 completely disconnected disciplines or seemingly disconnected disciplines, make for a really rich education in which you are able to develop those skills that transcend individual disciplines. In fact, more than 1/3 of our students double major, and almost every single student will have some sort of combination of major and minor. So this is really where the great things happen. Beloit has an average class size of 12 students and a student to faculty ratio of 10:1. So that's really where you're able to develop those relationships, not only with professors, but with your peers around you, those great mentorship opportunities, and overall those skills that, again, transcend individual disciplines, and it's what makes the experience so remarkable. Now, Beloit is proud to be one of the top 10 most innovative colleges in the country, and that's because we've really elevated innovation to its finest distillation. With our advanced mentoring program, Beloiters are able to connect with their academic advisors within 3 days of depositing or becoming a Beloiter, and then for the first whole year have a class every 2 weeks with their professor or academic advisor who really teaches you some life skills, career skills, and things to succeed, which is then matched by our career channels program, which are essentially springboards to discovering spectacular opportunities, pre-professional experiences, internships, shadow opportunities, all kinds of networking opportunities with a really strong alumni group that is an extraordinarily grateful group of graduates who have gone on and changed the world because their lives have been changed by Beloit. In fact, we have a pretty spectacular postgraduate success, and our students are able to really lead some purposeful, meaningful lives. But it's not just about the studying now, is it? Beloit also has a stunning campus that is very much designed for you, the student, with beautiful spaces with a really vibrant residential living component to it, where 95% of our students live on campus and over 60 student-run clubs and organizations. You really will find plenty to do. Beloit really demands involvement out of its students, because that's how you really get the most out of this experience. And one of the best representations of that clearly is our powerhouse, that spectacular looking building on the bottom right, where we turned this coal-powered energy plant into our incredible new Student Union Recreation Center, which represents the very best of Beloit in every possible way. So again, Beloit is not only about its prestigious and magnificent academics, but also about its unmatchable, unbeatable living experience that's over 40 different countries around the world. Students from over 40 countries call home, and students for nearly 2 centuries have really shaped into being the special college that it is. Now, after hearing all that, I'm sure that all of you are itching to become a Beloiter, and we're proud to say that we are as obstacle-less as possible when applying to Beloit. We are free to apply to. We are on the Common App, and we provide pretty spectacular merit-based scholarships and financial aid. In fact, last year, Beloit was named #2 in the nation for financial aid by a big website. You see that we require letter of recommendation, transcripts, the basics, but we are also proudly test optional, have been for years. And some of our deadlines are approaching. If the audience today is a senior, then they still have time to submit for those early action deadlines. But if not, these are deadlines year after year, and would definitely like to see an application coming from you. Now, if you'd like to stay in contact and learn more about my experience as a Beloiter or the experiences of other people who absolutely love it here, please do screenshot this, take a look at my email and my texting number, and we'd be more than happy to connect you with the right person at Beloit, which more often than not is always the case. So if you're ready to jump into a great adventure, consider Beloit, and thank you very much for listening today.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Roosevelt University.
All right, hello everyone. Let me just go ahead and share my screen with my presentation for you. As Clarissa had mentioned, my name is Lisa Behrens. I am here on behalf of Roosevelt University, located in Chicago, Illinois, in the beautiful Midwest. A little bit about us as Roosevelt University. Our university was founded in 1945, and we were founded out of racial and religious defiance. So essentially, our founders made the decision that they wanted to establish a university that accepted students regardless of their race, ethnicity, religion, or gender. And it really changed the national landscape for higher education as a whole. And today, social justice is fully integrated into our approach to undergraduate education, and obviously our mission statement as well. So a little bit about our campus. Chicago is our campus. We are very blessed to be in the middle of downtown Chicago, right in the South Loop. If you can see right here where my cursor is pointing, that's our building right there. So it's very visible from the lakefront, from the beautiful about 28 miles of lakefront that we get to, our students have access to here in the city. There's also over 200 art galleries, landmarks, live music venues, festivals, and tons more to do. And we're so glad that those things are starting to come back into play, and our students are able to participate in a lot of those events, including yesterday. We just happened to have the world champion WNBA Chicago Sky Championship parade go right down Michigan Avenue, right in front of our campus. So it was really special for us to be able to be a part of that. There's also over 550 public parks that are available, not only on the lakefront, but in surrounding neighborhoods. And then of course, that Chicago cuisine. There's over 7,300 different types of restaurants, different types of cuisines from all over the world that you are able to have that access to, that's really within, within as close as walking distance to our campus. When it comes to our student population, about 45% of our students are students of color. So we do have a very diverse campus. And then 30% are first generation students. That's really a population that we've been working very closely with the last several years, making sure that we're assisting them and their families in that process, because we know it is a very difficult process. And we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to assist you and make sure that we're helping you make that right decision. One of those decisions obviously is going to be your major, and Roosevelt offers more than 120 degree programs, so over 72 undergraduate, and then we also have about 48 plus undergrad or graduate programs as well. The photo that you're seeing on the screen is also our Schaumburg campus. So we do have a secondary satellite location in the northwestern suburbs, which primarily houses a lot of our transfer students and our pharmacy program as well. So a little bit about our undergraduate studies. Those 72 areas of study are divided up into our 5 colleges: arts and sciences, business, science, health and pharmacy, education, and performing arts. We are also very fortunate that we have a great core system that includes a lot of experiential learning, hands-on learning, to make sure you're just not sitting in a classroom listening to a professor lecture about topics. We're making sure that you're integrated into what you're actually learning, whether it's going out into the field and experiencing it firsthand, or bringing in some guest speakers to really help immerse you in the content that you are learning, and helping making sure that you're a well-rounded student once you leave us. So our faculty is phenomenal. They are all experts in their fields. They're all professionals in their field. So not only are they going to be teaching you the latest and greatest in their fields, but they're also going to help you build your network. We want to make sure that once you leave us at Roosevelt, you're ready to enter into the workforce with a network of individuals in your profession that are going to help you, that know you, that can help get you in your foot in the door, maybe in a specific company that you're really interested in. But our faculty is that first step to making sure you're building that really great network. Over 53% of our classes are less than 20 students, and we're really proud of our 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, especially considering we do have a large number of students here on campus. And when it comes to those different programs for success to help you in your journey here at Roosevelt to completing your bachelor's degree, we have our honors and learnings commons. So whether you need a little bit of assistance or a little bit of tutoring to get you through those classes, or if you're looking for a more challenging curriculum, we have an incredible honors program to really help you make the most out of your college experience. When it comes to that college experience, we also have over 50 student organizations, so helping you get involved. So even though we are considered an urban campus, and our campus truly is just that one beautiful building that you get to see in the skyline, we want to make sure that you're still getting involved, still meeting your classmates, and still being able to work with those people around you. And then finally, we have great career development and professional mentorship, again, to help you build up that incredible networking that you have to help you get your foot in the door once you graduate. Our residence building, so it is the same building that you're going to be taking classes in. It's a beautiful building with great views of the city skyline, the lake, Soldier Fields, Navy Pier, all of those great things that you think of when you think of Chicago. We also have athletic programs available as well to our students. When it comes to our application process, you can apply online. It is a free application. Our freshmen are only required to have a self-reporting GPA, and then we are test optional as well, with the exception of the nursing program. You will need to submit your test scores for that. And all of our documents can be submitted electronically or mailed to our Schaumburg location. Admissions requirements are about a 2.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale, and we are looking at that unweighted GPA. And then, of course, the scholarships, the free money, the things that we can offer you to help make that cost of attending Roosevelt a little bit not as scary as a lot of those sticker prices are going to scare you to be. So we have our need-based scholarship based off of your FAFSA information. So making sure you complete that FAFSA and add Roosevelt to your list of schools. We have our merit-based scholarships, which are based on your GPA. And then we also have a high achieving scholarship for those students that do wish to submit their ACT or SAT test scores. We will accept those and be able to see if there are any high achieving scholarships available to you based on those scores that you provide us. We obviously have our athletic awards, and we also have performing arts. So our choir, our bands, theater are all available as kind of an extracurricular activity with scholarship dollars available. We'd love to hear from you. Obviously, scheduling a campus visit, if you're able to come and visit us, is fantastic. If not, we do have virtual tours as well. You can also make virtual or in-person appointments with an admissions counselor, and then making sure that you're checking out those virtual tours to come and see our campus and see what we're all about. Obviously, always don't forget to follow us on our social media pages as well, with a lot of really cool updates and information. And obviously those student tutorials, and they're going to be able to kind of share their experience with you. Our student workers are really involved with our social media pages. We want to make sure that they are giving you that inside scoop as to what it's like to be a student at Roosevelt's. Thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to leave my information in the chat if you need to contact me.
Thank you everyone for sharing about your respective institutions. We do still have some time in our programming, so I'm going to invite our representatives to come back on and answer a question for everybody. So that will be, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in presentation order. So we'll start with Hendrix.
Yeah, that is a great question. And something I didn't share about myself earlier is I'm also a dad. My oldest just started college this past year. And some advice that I told her was just keep to keep herself center to this process, not to ask questions of what would my neighbors think about where I went to college, or what would my friends think. Keep yourself at the center of this, students. Do your best to find that best fit. Go through your college list and ask yourself, if this is the only school to which I was admitted, would I be happy? Next list. If this was the only school to which I was admitted, would I be happy? And if you could say yes to every school on that list, then you have a good list together. So keep yourself at the center of it, find that good fit, and have fun with this process.
Yeah, I think for me personally, one of the biggest things that I took account of was not taking into account just the majors and minors side of things. I also wanted to really look at the financials. I wanted to look at the community. I wanted to look at how many students would be on campus. I think when it comes to college, when you first think about it, it's strictly just the major that you're interested in. And then from that, you kind of choose a college accordingly. Really take into account the different aspects of living, whether it's if you want to live independently, if you want to live close to home. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you want to do. Feel free to really take the time to focus on those things, and then just pray about it. I mean, it is a tough decision that you have to make, and it was one of the toughest decisions that I had to make. But through prayer and just through talking to my parents and asking all those questions, I was able to find Cairn. So.
The biggest advice I would say for students who are looking through the application process is essentially finding the best experience you want out of your college experience / universities, because we say universities in Canada. Look where you want to live, the experience you want to have, if the actual program they're offering fits what you're looking for. Those are all of the biggest factors that will actually make a difference, because the quality of education that you're going to get, to be frank with you, is probably going to be very similar to every single one of us here. So just look at what you want in terms of your experience.
My advice would be to really broaden your horizons, expand your worldview among the possibilities that are out there. You may not have heard of the colleges that changed lives before, but we change lives, and that's a great thing. You may not have heard of this other school, and it's important for you to, if it matches what you're looking for, to apply and to explore and to see those possibilities. So broaden your horizons and see that there's a whole universe of incredible educational institutions out there, that one of them is bound to be a perfect fit for you.
My advice to students who are going through this college application process is use your admissions counselor. They're going to be your best friend. They're going to be your biggest advocate. They're going to be your biggest cheerleader. So whether you attend, our university or any of the incredible universities that you're hearing about here in this panel, and hopefully other panels that you're attending, those counselors are there to help you. They want to make sure that you're going through this process seamlessly. So if they give you a call, they send you a text message, they send you an email, make sure you're responding to them. They're just here to help you. They want to make sure that you are getting everything done, so that if it is our university that you choose, whether it's right at decision day on May 1st, or you wait until maybe mid-July, early August to make that decision, we want to make sure that we have everything here for you. The other thing I would recommend is don't harp so much on what your major is going to be. I always ask students, what do you want to be when you grow up? Think about it that way, because if we know what that end goal is, we can help cater your major to what your dream goal is, what your dream job is, what your career aspirations are. So again, making sure that you're thinking about some of those things when you're thinking about the schools that you want to attend.
Thank you everyone for those wonderful pieces of advice. We have come to the ending of our programming, so thank you everyone for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We would appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. We also will have other sessions right after this, as well as over the next few days, so definitely go back out to the schedule to see what is available. And as always, we have recorded this session and it will be available at strivescan.com/COSI. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.